welcome to AFL Women's. It's Carlton and Collingwood. A wonderful moment for generations past and future. In the opening contest, coming through hard was Hosking.
Outstanding play
For the opening goal, and there's a piece of history for Jazzy Garner. Here's a chance. Here's Vesey again. He's got four.
It's the Blues at home with the opening set of 4 points.
Welcome to AFLW 2018. So begins Chapter 2 of our great games, most exciting new edition. History may repeat itself, and that will be fresh in their minds. 3-on-1 in the air, Harris getting involved. Harris attacks it and wins. Time running out for Collingwood. Blues hanging on. And Carlton has done it again. They repeat their season opening victory on another enjoyable night for the new Dark Navy Blues. All of which brings us to Chapter 3, Saturday night football from Icon Park. It's Carlton and Collingwood on a hot autumn night in Melbourne. Carlton with a chance to jump into the top 2. Collingwood needing to win to keep their season alive. Jason Bennett alongside Abby Holmes and Chelsea Roundel. And Chelsea, I'll start with you. Looking at things from a Collingwood side of things, what are you expecting tonight? What are you hoping to see from the Pies?
Yeah, look, from the Pies, we know obviously they're a kicking team. They love that long kick into the stoppages and bits and pieces. So what we're hoping to see obviously is that use of the footy, a bit more composure around the ground, and hopefully they can support the contest with method throughout the game today.
It's going to be interesting to see their use of Jamie Lambert and Ash Brazel.
Yes, definitely. And I'm also looking forward to see if Livingston goes to Harris as well. I mean, the defence has got a big day ahead of them to obviously a strong forward line in Carlton. So hopefully their defence can hold up today.
And Abs, from a Carlton side of things, what are you expecting or hoping to see tonight?
Well, I hope that they have a real big emphasis on team defence. You know, we saw it against GWS 2 rounds ago where they really forced GWS to make the errors and capitalise. They pounced and moved the ball methodically down to the forward line and finished off with goals. So I'm really hoping that that is a big emphasis for them against the Pies tonight.
And this could be a pretty close matchup because you look at their respective strengths and weaknesses. Carlton ranked 5th in attack, Collingwood 5th in defence. So you would think on a good night the Collingwood defence will go okay. The big question is, can Collingwood score at the other end? They're last in the comp for scoring, but last week they kicked their highest score of the season. They looked okay.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting to see if Jamie Lambert will go up front, obviously, because we hope that we could see her kick another couple of snagging goals for Collingwood today.
So the two teams about to make their way out onto Icon Park. A very warm night in Melbourne. Still 36 degrees here in Carlton. The Magpies looking for their first win of the season and their first ever win over their arch rival. They might be 0-4, but they've only been blown away once. That was against Fremantle in Fremantle by 33 points. And Brisbane, who's sitting top of the conference, lost to Fremantle there by 27. So that shows they are still in the mix.
Yeah, definitely still in the mix. And today is going to be an epic contest today, guys. We've got a bit of a crowd welcoming Collingwood out to the ground now.
And here come the Magpies. It's been a challenging season, but that can all be put behind them if they can beat Carlton for the first time and keep their hopes alive this season.
They know how to play the game. Side by side they stick together to uphold the Magpies' name. See the barricades are shouting as all barricades should. Oh, the premiership's a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood.
Here's their lineup, Chelsea. 3 changes. In comes Ash Brazel, Ruby Slisher and debutante Darcy Guttridge.
Yes, Collingwood. Look, Ash Brazel obviously back in after missing last week from her concussion against Freo, and one of the best players in the competition for rebound 50s. She's an incredible athletic ability. I absolutely love watching Braz play. We might see her go into obviously the midfield. We can see her in there, and it'll be a really interesting game there. Debutante Darcy Guttridge, really exciting. Finally see her pull on the stripes today, and we'll hopefully see the speedster there, a strong body, a linking player, get into the game today.
Tonight's Host Pass performance player to watch is Jamie Lambert. She became Collingwood's #1 midfielder, but she could also be the most dangerous forward. So the conundrum for Wayne Seekman, Chelsea, is how to best utilise her. What makes her so good?
She is just an in and under player, and we love watching her. We wish we probably had 1 or 2 more on the side for the Pies, but she is obviously leading Collingwood's clearances, hard ball gets, uncontested, contested, and basically everything. So, like I said, she's got so much spark about her, and we look to see her today put on a big performance performance for the Pies.
Is there a chance that Wayne Seekman uses Lambert and Brazel in some sort of tandem combination? He has one of them in the middle at all times and then shuffles the other one around?
Yeah, I think that's definitely maybe something he's going for. It's important to have just that strong contested winner, ball winner, and having Brazel obviously in one line and Jamie in the other is crucial, I think.
Sophie Alexander has played back and she's played forward, Abs. In that first game before she got knocked out, she gave them a real good, strong presence up forward.
She looked really promising for them up forward. It was unfortunate to see her go down as she was really crucial to their attack. So hopefully she can put in another strong performance for the Pies tonight. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting contest. Not too much separates these two sides tonight.
So that's Collingwood taken care of. Carlton now preparing to make their way out onto Icon Park. And here come the Blues, a chance to move back up inside the top two. They've played better football than 1 and 3 suggest. They were wasteful last week. Can they take their chances tonight to strengthen their finals hopes and end their arch rivals?
Send up, we'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark Blues.
Here's the Carlton lineup under coach Daniel Harford, Abs. 3 changes, including 2 debutants.
Yeah, really exciting side in tonight. We've got Emerson Woods and Charlotte Wilson, 2 young women making their debuts tonight. Brianne Moody also has been recalled. Plain Watt and Brazali make space for those 3. But Maddie Pressbarkers, how good has she been in the first 4 rounds? There's no doubt she's one of the most important players in this Carlton side. And at the age of 18 years and in your 5th AFLW game, that's a lot of pressure, and I feel like she needs a lot of help from Loynes, Dalton and Edwards in particular tonight.
They've injected plenty of speed into this lineup. It's a whole new game plan, and it could help that lady there, Taylor Harris. What will we get from her tonight, Abs? So dominant a fortnight ago. She kicked 3 goals against GWS, then a frustrating afternoon last week against the Cats.
Yeah, look, 2 contrasting performances, but yes, Taylor Harris kicked 0 goals for last week, as we just see one of her posters there. But she certainly didn't play poorly, Jay. She finds the space and finds the football. She just needs to finish off her work. So no doubt there was plenty of work kicking goals throughout the week.
I asked Daniel Harford during the week, Chels, what were you saying to Taylor Harris there at that moment? He said, no, Taylor's actually very, very good at resetting. He thinks it comes from a boxing background where you get punched in the face. You don't have time to think about it. You've just got to look forward. And he says that's how she goes about her footy. She's got a short memory.
She is definitely a resilient player, Taylor. I mean, I've known her for a couple of years and she is just an exceptional athlete, both on and off the field. And I think, she, as well as she'd be disappointed with that performance last week and not getting those goals, I think she's in for a big one tonight.
There's Ruby Slisher. She's back in the Collingwood lineup tonight, number 18. We've got her mic'd up to listen in as she takes on the Blues. And this one could get a bit fiery. It's Carlton. It's Collingwood. It's a must-win game. And it's next.
It's funny growing up a Carlton supporter. Collingwood were the enemy, so much so that it was drilled into you, do not support the black and white at all, no matter who they're playing. And we used to catch the train into the G on our Hurstbridge line, and every time we went past Vic Park Station, Dad would make us hold our breath. Oh, God forbid we breathe in the air, that's been touched by Collingwood and in the Collingwood community.
That's a sneak preview of the latest in the 3-part Host Plus AFLW Making Our Mark series featuring Collingwood skipper Steph Chiocci. She grew up a dyed-in-the-wool Carlton fanatic. You can check out the other 2 features starring Mel Hickey and Leah Kasler at the website Women's AFL Making Our Mark, and Steph's feature to go live next Friday. And there's Bree Davey, Carlton captain. She grew up a Collingwood fanatic. So the vagaries of the draft suddenly testing family allegiances, Abs.
Yes, it's funny, isn't it? The captain of obviously Collingwood, an ex-Carlton supporter, so it is great to see that girls adapt. You know, in AFLW, you're not necessarily going to the club that you've supported your entire life. So I know, Chelsea, you had to kind of swap ships into Adelaide, didn't you?
Yes, from Western Australia across to Adelaide. I may have been a West Coast Eagles fan back then, but now obviously wholeheartedly in Adelaide.
I think the girls adapt. It's harder for the families to adapt.
Isn't it? I mean, I was very lucky, Jace. I've always supported Adelaide, so to have the opportunity to put on their jumper was great for the family.
Let's check in boundary side and formally welcome Nat Edwards. Evening, Nat. It's a warm one.
It sure is. The mercury actually hit 36 degrees today here in Melbourne. It's still 35 degrees, if you can believe it. I wouldn't want to be these girls playing out here tonight. The extreme heat policy rule, though, won't be in play. We will have extra water carriers, though. And I have been told the umpires tonight will be cracking down on the 50-metre penalty rule, where an opposition player can't block the path of the player taking the 50-metre penalty. The umpires will be red hot on that tonight.
Thanks, Nat. We look forward to keeping an eye on that one and the other rule changes, which, to be honest, so far seem to be working, Chelsea. They've opened up the game, which was the desired intention.
They definitely have, and I mean, as a backliner, I really enjoy the one coming out of the square, obviously, after a team kicks a point. Just the ability to just to be able to play on and take that space and really send it long and get the ball moving.
So, ladies, let's talk mindset for this game. Both teams have struggled this year in terms of wins and losses. Carlton are 1-3, Collingwood 0-4. But tonight, Chelsea, they've got a chance to just focus on these 4 quarters, knowing that if they win, they're back in contention.
Exactly right. We forget the rest of the season that's been and gone. We're focused right here, right now, on the game. The first battle, the first quarter is about to start.
I think it's going to be very contested. It's going to be hot footy early. As we've mentioned, both sides do or die in tonight's game.
And both coaches during the week making a point of talking about being switched on from the start. As I mentioned, Daniel Harford very strong this week. His message, be in the moment at this opening bounce. Two of footy's great traditional rivals, suburban neighbours with everything to play for. It's Carlton and Collingwood on Saturday night football. And Davey into the middle, into the action. The get and go, runs through the front of the square, goes to the pocket. Moody will get there first. She's got a metre on Slicer, tries to close her down. Flips a handball to G in the pocket. She'll square to the top of the square. Vesey works to the front and got it.
That's exactly what Carlton fans would like to see. I mentioned it in the pre-game, but when the Carlton forwards fire in Vesey and Harris, it seems like it lifts the entire team. So really strong start, getting the ball into the forward 50 and into the hands of this woman.
So Darcy Vesey, who announced herself on that very first night with a few goals 2 years ago. This for the first tonight. She misses. And on the back of kicking 1-8 last week, the Blues looking for greater accuracy tonight. Not the start they'd be looking for. Livingston goes long. Shevlin read it well. Couldn't quite control it in the air. Benici immediately tackled. Davey just rips it out of her arms. Thought about the give to Pressbarkis. The strength in the core of Davey to stand up in that tackle. Gets it to Pressbarkis. Downey's handball smothered. Lambert did well. Goes laterally to Rowe. She pokes down the line. And Alexander pushing up to the wing to take the mark. Sophie Alexander winds up and kicks high towards 50. Ground level, Dargan tries to control it. She bustles Pound off the football. Stevens, the former Magpie, buried into the ground by Katie Lynch. And we'll have a bounce 55 metres from the Collingwood goal.
And the structure just here that we're seeing from both the Collingwood defence is just really nice. They've spread them nicely across at the back here.
Lambert taken high by Edwards, who usually gets the main tagging job. Such a good runner for the Blues, Jess Edwards. Collingwood VFL player last season, so she'll know plenty of these players. Kick inside 50, and that is a great start for Charlotte Wilson on debut. Takes a mark in her first contest. She looks to switch to the other debutante. Woods couldn't quite control it. Moody went to ground, and in the end it worked. She takes mark and or free kick. Slicer with the job on Brianne Moody. Bouncing football attacked by Loynes on the wing. Can turn and snap towards half forward. Bouncing football beat Harris and Livingston. Tracking it back with speed is a dangerous G. Sockers to her own advantage, has got a couple to beat. Casey will receive a shepherd from Livingston. Well, she should have. And it's walked through for a minor score.
Yeah, I think Livingston was just happy to concede that behind, to be honest, and get the kick out here.
So Livingston Sees a 2-on-1. Ricochets off row, but to her own advantage, and now she has the extra number, Shevlin. Shevlin can go short over the top. She put it behind Hines. The turnover came. Stevens, hurried handball. Put Edwards under pressure. She needed a quick release. Shevlin's going to be tackled by Stevens. Dispossessed. Umpire says play on. Hines. Lambert. Shevlin on the half volley. Harassed by Dalton was enough to affect the kick. Stevens involved again. Looks up, goes in the Harris direction, one-on-one with Livingston. It hits the ground. Loynes couldn't take it. Casey did well. She'll get a free kick as her legs were taken out by Katie Loynes. So Collingwood defence under pressure early. Short kick finds Brazel. Back into the side after missing with concussion last week. Chips it short to a 3-on-1 and the one wins. Good mark taken by Chloe Dalton. Called to go. Goes short towards Prespakis. On the bounce, Benici wrapped her up. G again, Sockers to advantage. Casey will get there first. Strong in the body. Looks for handball over the top. Was intercepted by Loynes as she went looking for Eilish Ross.
There's Mason Cox, just in the ground here at Icon Park. Just
Eddie Maguire there as well.
Everyone.
Throw in. Deep in attack for the Blues. Moody and Hines to the front of the contest for Stratton. Across her body, bouncing football. 2-on-2, Dalton takes possession. She's immediately claimed and taken high. Free kick Carlton. Free kick against Shevlin. Going to Dalton, the former Rugby Sevens player. Won Olympic gold in Rio. Goes to Harris. She comes steaming out and takes it in the hands.
Brilliant mark. And I mean, Collingwood are really just struggling to try and get it outside that forward at that 50 there. We can see at the back of the passage here, Taylor just takes a beautiful mark inside of against four of them.
Difficult to guard when she's on the move, but this has been the part of her game that's been a problem for her accuracy. That looks pretty good off the boot, but it clips the post. She's kicked 3 goals, 6 for the season. 12-21 in her AFLW career, so she's averaging a couple of shots a game. But the accuracy not there in recent weeks for Taylor Harris. Livingston. Brazel at the back. It didn't get that far. Good mark to Loynes. Loynes from 60. Sets it up. Moody and Vesey in that pack. Hines has got to be quick. Harris runs her down and earns another shot at goal.
And that's what the coaching group would want to be seeing from Taylor Harris. If she hasn't necessarily put the points on the board as of yet, she'll be doing her absolute darndest to make sure that the ball stays inside their forward 50 and they're getting more opportunities just like she created there.
Pressure acts around the ground. I mean, inside, she's not letting it out outside of that forward 50. That's what you want from your forwards, hard work.
So the Blues have dominated the early territory. Can they get some return for their efforts? They do. Harris slots it. The Blues get there first. Carlton with all the territory early, Abs. Good repeat efforts from the Blues eventually pay off.
Yeah, great effort by Taylor Harris. And I personally have always been told that as a forward, if things aren't happening for you in front of goal, it's the defensive efforts and the pressure that you've really got to focus on.
Davey again, first possession. Put the head down. Got it to Mullane, the former Magpie. Ducks under the Stratton tackle. Puts it out towards half forward. A chance for Walker. One-on-one with Grant. Support in the form of Hosking. Uses Walker, receives a Shepherd. 3 Magpies attracted as she dishes off to Hosking, who can float it over the top to Loynes. Blues controlling the football early, and Loynes has had plenty of it. From 55, goes looking for Vesey at the back. And Carlton's 2 marquee forwards prominent early.
They're on here, Jace, aren't they? And this is exactly what you want to see. Darcy Vesey and Taylor Harris, they are confidence players. So for them to be getting their hands on the ball early in this round 5 game, it's really exciting signs for Carlton.
A bit like Taylor Harris, accuracy's been a problem for her this season. Darcy Vesey, she's kicked 2 goals, 6. From 30 metres out, slide angle. And this time she's pushed it across the face.
It was great by Loynes there just to be able to, wait until Darcy was ready to be able to lead up and take that mark with the space out the behind there. Collingwood just let him have it.
Livingston goes long, clears the 50, looking for Ross. She lays a tackle on Stevens, which opens the door for Dargan. Floats a kick to the wing. It's a 2-on-1 in Carlton's favour. Van Dijk gets there first, controlled it in the air and gave it to Davey. Davey will poke it wide. Loynes has got a couple of metres on Brazel. Brazel comes in to lay a shepherd or a hit on her, but it doesn't affect the kick. It finds Hosking nonetheless. This is Sarah Hosking. She pokes it inside 50. Harris runs underneath it. Well read by Livingston. She goes short. Finds Kais at defensive 50. Kais pokes it down the line. It's tidy, and it finds Lynch. Katie Lynch goes short. Here's Allen. She'll swing it inboard. Leighton the target, and up she goes and takes the mark.
I feel that Shani Leighton is getting better and better every week. We know that this is her first season of AFLW football, coming over from netball. And I feel like from round 1 now to round 6, she's improved greatly.
She delivers back to Lynch. So a patient build-up from the Pies here as they work it round the city side. Keen to just retain possession. Allen does well. Steps around the first gamer. Woods, but her handball missed Lynch. Woods comes crashing in. In fact, it's Wilson. And over the top comes Kais to push Davey out of bounds.
This is good by Collingwood. I mean, they're chipping the ball around, really trying to maintain possession, not just slamming it on the boot and surging it forward. So it's great to see them actually using that ball and trying to take the game on and maintain possession of it.
Leighton, Dargan taken down by Davey. Dumped in the tackle, Collingwood free kick. We spoke pre-game that Collingwood have to develop a short game to retain possession a little bit more, Chelsea. And it looks like on that last build-up, that's what they're trying to do.
Exactly, and I loved how Jordan just tried to take the game on there as well. I mean, once you're past a certain point, you want to try and run and draw and make a 2v1 and move on.
And this time they do just blast away long, and it's picked off by Karen Harrington. 27th birthday today. Harris again runs underneath it. Livingston read it well, tapped it to Lambert at the back. She can square it looking for Leighton. Downey arrived late, did well, won it at ground level, gets it to Walker. Can the Blues attack in the other direction? Over the head of Harris. She's got some time, got Loynes in support. Swings it inside 50. Vesio's looked dangerous early. Off the hands of the contest, it's Edwards versus Grant. Edwards will get there first. She'll give a handball to Vesio, but it's intercepted by Ross. Vesio lays the tackle. And once again, the Blues managed to hold it inside 50.
Just the open forward line then, it was just Darcy and obviously down there, it was a one-on-one, and if that Carlton just get the ball into it, they're leaving it really open for that one-on-one contest.
Leighton won the tap, but in the process gave away the free kick for over the shoulder. It's going to Millie Mullane. Spent her first 2 seasons with Collingwood. Came across to Carlton this year, largely due to her relationship with Daniel Half, who they got on really well when Daniel was the assistant coach at Collingwood last year. Mullane squares it up. Loynes got an awkward bounce. Brazel took possession, uses a support. Casey has to crash in hard over the top. We'll have another stoppage 15 metres out from the Carlton goal. They've dominated the early territory. It's 9 inside 50s to 1 in favour of the Blues. Leighton got a tap through the hands of Davey. It's fed out to Stratton by Casey. Lynch with McKay. And it trickles out.
It's really exciting to see Abby McKay out there. We know that in year 1, her and her family, the McKays, they actually rang the bell here to signal the first ever game of the AFLW, and now she's out there running around for the Blues.
First ever father-daughter. Her dad, Andy, 244 games for the Blues. Premiership player, best and fairest. And of course, their head of football for 7 years as well. Here's Dargan. Gets it to the first game at Guttridge. High kick. Again, a 3-on-1 in Carlton's favour. This is Jess Hosking, who's moved into a more defensive role this season. She goes short and finds Moody on the wing. The run from behind from Harrington. Well read, good effort. Well played there by Membry. Get across and force a smother. Moody gets it back, but turns it over under pressure. Another smother off the boot of Kais. Shevlin to Membry. Throws her boot at it. It'll work out to Guttridge. She's called to go. Dispossessed. And now Prespakis can chip short and find Davey. Just the second touch for Prespakis as Davey goes to Sarah Hosking. Hosking sees something she like at half forward. It's Prespakis who runs to 55, goes towards the pocket. Harris the target. Well-timed fist from Livingston. Harris off the ground. Livingston shunts her out of the way. And with strength, stands up in the Walker tackle and releases the handball to Grant. Grant's got Brazel. Brazel will chip over the top into the path of Hines and Kais, but it bounces to Pound. She pumps it high inside 50. Prespakis waits underneath it. Grant arrives with a fist. Membry to Shevlin. Shevlin will attack up the middle. Almost got over the back, and Collingwood were in business. Guttridge comes through on Stevens, but she can't beat Harrington. Van Dyke, Jess Hosking, Davey, and now Pound. She'll go inside 50. Vesey on the lead. Thought about the give to Prespakis. She's got Harris leading to the pocket. But Vesey can go back and have her third shot at goal this evening. This is the toughest of them. She'll kick from about 40 metres out. A skip in her step. And she misses right.
She needs to take those shots though, Jace. Yes, she's now 0 goals, 3 behinds, but you don't want her to drop her head. You want her to continue to take those shots on goal. And just quickly, Bree Davey now up to 7 disposals. She had 8 in the first quarter last week, so tracking along nicely once again.
The Blues with 6 shots at goal in the opening term. That's the upside for Daniel Harford. The downside, they've kicked 1-5, but here's Shevlin. Paddling to her own advantage. She gets it all the way to the centre, then gathers. Can't use it. She was run down by Edwards, but it's spilt to Lambert. Nice switch. Stratton has got Kais running past. Holds it up. Chips inside 50. It was a good option, but straight through the hands of Membry. Bursting through was Harrington. She kicks to a 2-on-1. Grant engages, which allows Stratton an unencumbered run at the football. Brazel ran herself into trouble, but she spun through the Harris tackle. Delivers it low and hard towards half forward. Hosking got a hand in there. Got a couple to beat. Ball to be won by Guttridge. The youngster dispossessed by Harrington. Umpire says play on. It's there for Shevlin. High kick inside 50. And Stevens will stand underneath it.
And this is what we love with Carlton here. I mean, you were just seeing, you probably can't see it on your screens before, but they had about 2 or 3 spares just in their back line there, and just all Carlton. So if Collingwood are going to try and get it inside that forward line, they need to try and work out and get it away from some of those defenders there.
Pound to Van Dyke as the siren sounds for quarter time. It was all Carlton in that opening term, but they didn't take full toll. The Blues 1-5-11. Collingwood yet to score on Saturday Night Footy. Great moment for Katie Lynch.
Don't mind if you do, on the left foot. Straight through the big sticks for her first goal in AFLW football, but a really big lift by the Collingwood Football Club, which is great to see in this second term.
So inside 50s in the first quarter was 12-2 Carlton's way. It's 5-2 Collingwood's way early in the second. And it's McKay under pressure. Kiochi was tackled when not in possession. Dalton went again. Pound. Davey. Handball into the path of Edwards. Stratton working hard to try and run her down. Puts her under pressure. It affected the handball. Kiochi flashed through the screen. Pound lurking. It won't come out.
This is a different Collingwood from the first quarter, isn't it?
There's Steph Kiochi, who's gone onto the ball as the skipper. He's giving them some real leadership early in this second term. Downey's tap. Davey goes hunting it. It's through her legs. McKay under pressure. Leighton takes the football. McKay came back later, smother. Leighton handball forward to Rowe. She's going to run into Stevens. Quick handball. Lynch tries to duck one. Can't duck the second, and she's gone. Good pressure from Nicola Stevens, who stuck at it. Second and third effort, eventually rewarded. Stevens goes towards Sarah Hosking. Brazel did well. Hits the ground running. Wide open forward 50. Needs to float it over the head of Hosking. Couldn't quite get it there. Good bounce for Allen. She steps around Pound. Jordan Allen from 20 metres out just misses. Could have given Collingwood the lead. And this game has turned on its head.
It's such a game of momentum, isn't it, Jace? We saw it was all Carlton in that first quarter, and Collingwood, to their credit, have really turned it around in this second term. A lot more opportunity inside their forward 50.
So Jess Hosking to Pound. A little fumble from Stevens, put herself under pressure. She's got Alexander for company, who's bigger and stronger. Umpire calls for it. So Chelsea now from the Daniel Harford side of things, Carlton side of things, what are they now going to do to adjust to get momentum back in the game?
They need to get back control of that game, obviously, just in terms of we've seen a one-on-one down there. It's great to watch, but obviously Carlton just need to try and maintain possession of that footy and that slow and just tempo footy.
It's all Collingwood at the moment. Woods, little give to Pound. But once again, the Pies will put it back inside 50 through Kais, who goes short and finds Sarah Rowe. A triple code start.
Probably doesn't have the distance here, Jace, but you would anticipate she'll pop it up to the top of the square.
Got a 4v1 in the square at the moment, Carlton with the 4.
Chance for her first goal in AFLW, but she's poked it well wide. Sarah played soccer for Ireland all the way from under-15s through to senior level. Played at the Euro Championships in the under-19s. Gaelic football, her great love. Her grandfather played for Mayo in their All-Ireland Championship back in 1951. That's the family sport. And she'll return to Mayo to play Gaelic at the end of this season.
Here's Carlton's opportunity just to try and get some tempo footy back and just maintain that control that game and see if they can hit up some targets.
Pounds kicks dangerous. The debutante through the hands of Guttridge. At ground level, she follows up. Nice hands. Allen snaps. Goals. Pies in front.
Well, Darcy Guttridge read it beautifully. Unfortunately, the mark just slipped through the hands, but it was the second effort to give the hands off to Jordan Allen and a beautiful finish in front of goal. 6 points for the number 6.
For her first goal in AFLW as well. The Pies have lifted. McKay received from Davey. Prespakis under pressure. Here's Woods, a slight fumble. Lambert tries to shut her down. Prespakis under pressure from Benici. Back to Woods. Another fumble. Hosking coming through Guttridge. Clever little tap. Rowe lurking. Gathers the football. Can't get past Van Dyke. Release the handball to Lambert. She was taken high. She kicked. And it'll be a Collingwood ball. So it's Carlton now under enormous pressure. Can the Blues respond? Collingwood have dug deep in this second term and turned it around. As Lambert goes short and finds Rowe. A little closer to goal this time. She'll kick from 40 metres out directly in front. Waste no time. Very close to Pound on the mark. That chipping style. Up and under. Dangerous. Shevlin at the front just couldn't quite control it. Coming the other way, Jess Hosking. Shevlin smothered by Sarah Hosking. Goes and wins the football. Gets it to Davey. She hacks it out to a one-on-one. At ground level, it's Benici. And once again, the Pies maintain the pressure. Benici pokes to Shevlin. Good effort from Hosking to force a contest. Walker came in over the top. Shevlin wraps her up. Hosking in too. And the Blues are gasping for air.
And just the composure there of Britt Benici, that's what you want to see. You want to see the ball in her hand, yes, but she had the composure to take grass, have a bounce and try and hit up a target inside 50.
That might have been Collingwood superfan Fernie there in the crowd watching on. Pretty happy with what she's seeing. The Magpies have stormed back in this second term to take control of the contest. Can the Blues respond? Out to the dangerous Lambert. She measures from 40. And throws her head back in disgust as she misses to the right.
Just had a lot of space, Lambert. Then all she needed the ball just to be tapped out over there, and she's got the 2 or 3 metres. But you can't catch her there if she's given the opportunity.
Pound gains 20 metres, gets it outside 50. But once again, it's the Magpies in position at ground level. Prespakis goes towards G. Good body spoil from Casey. Got her under the football. Lambert's been everywhere. Casey, good switch, finds Ross. Just says, settle it down. Let's maintain possession. This shorter style's worked. Dangerous kick. Sets Slisher a task, and Harris with the turnover. She wants to go quick. She hasn't got much forward of the football. She'll just have to launch it high and long to a one-on-one. That'll suit Livingston. Couldn't take the mark. Walker will have the edge for speed if she can get clear. So Livingston falls in on top of the football. How will the umpires see this? Stacey survives.
Could have potentially been holding the ball if I was an umpire, Jace, but brilliant work by Walker there. That's all she needed to do was create the stoppage inside their 50.
Finds the tap. Hosking spun through, managed to get it. But taken down. As inside 50s have flipped. It was 12-2 in the first quarter, Carlton's way. Mullane wants to get onto her right, has to release the handball. Loynes strong in the body. Shevlin coming the other way. Loynes will go again. Couldn't take it cleanly. He's got Brazel for company. Woods comes in to lay a tackle on Brazel, but in doing so, arm slipped high. Brazel will get the free kick.
And this is the transition running that you want. We need Collingwood to push across and find the side to support here.
With less than 90 seconds left in the first half, Davey takes the mark. Chance for the Blues to answer and lead at half-time. This is G. Georgia G from 52 metres. Spears it in low to the Vesey direction. The juggle couldn't complete it. Mullane hunts at ground level, shoulder to shoulder with Stratton. Ball in underneath. Clock stops, time on paid in the last couple of minutes of each quarter. Moody gets it down. Mullane couldn't control it, but Benici could. Sees off the danger, just kicks it to space. Just puts it out in front of Lambert. Should be hoping it pulls up in front of the line. It will. In fact, this is Guttridge. Couldn't quite get away from Stevens. But Guttridge and Allen in some open space, Ab, starting to look exciting for the Pies.
They're showing a bit, aren't they, Jace? Just the one-handed pick-up there by Guttridge, showing why she was the skipper of Vic Country. And now got a spot on this Collingwood side.
Magpies growing in confidence. They'd be enjoying this second quarter. They're on top in the game. With 40 seconds left to half-time, Stratton couldn't take it. Guttridge in there again. Van Dyke on the bottom of that pack. And she copped one high, she'll get a free kick. So 30 seconds remaining for the Blues. For Jade Van Dyke to find a target at half forward. She pops it up high. Dalton sets herself. Kais did well.
Great.
Outnumbered, took the grab. And should see off the danger for Collingwood. She goes short to Dargan. A fumble, but no harm done as she's bustled over the line by Dalton. Final play of the opening half. It's Carlton by 11 points at quarter time. The Magpies have hit back in the second quarter. We've got ourselves a contest between these two teams fighting to stay alive in season 2019. And at half-time, it's Collingwood 2-4-16. Carlton 1-6-12. The Magpies kicking all 2-4 in that second term. Carlton restricted to just one behind. You can see the smiles on the Collingwood faces. Wayne Seekman, as you heard from Nat Edwards at quarter time, was furious. Gave his team a real rev up, gave him a rocket at quarter time, and they responded in fine fashion. And the Pies will jog off at the half, feeling pretty good about their position in this game. Carlton with some thinking to do. Wasteful in the opening half, and it's cost them in the second term as we head down to Nat Edwards with one of these emerging Collingwood youngsters, Jordan Allen.
Geordie, amazing comeback there in the second term. You look like a completely different side. What was the difference?
Yeah, well, usually our first quarters aren't all that strong, and we really wanted to rectify our slow start in the first quarter, and I think we did just that in the second.
And of course, you kicked the goal to put the Pies back in front. It was also your first AFLW goal. Yeah. Nice to get the monkey off the back.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much pressure going into the forward line, and traditionally being a backline player, it's a bit of pressure, but I'm glad I got one on the board.
Best of luck for the second half.
Thanks, Nat.
Thanks to Nat and Jordan Allen as Bree Davey calls the troops in and lays down the law. The Blues have got some thinking to do. It's Collingwood by 4 points at half-time on Saturday Night Footy.
We've got the biggest teams, the biggest rivalries, and more games than ever on 7. It's going to be an epic season.
It looks great off the boot. Oh, it's getting better.
What has Collingwood unleashed here?
When the game is close,
Oh boy!
7 takes you closer.
It's live, it's free, and it's for everyone on Australia's home of footy. 7.
Great moment there for Jordan Allen. Her first goal in AFLW football, the assist from Darcy Guttridge on debut. And as they say in the classics, it was a half of 2 quarters. Carlton dominating the opening term. They kicked 1-5 in the opening term. Collingwood didn't score. It was Carlton by 11 points at the first change. The Magpies hitting back in that second term, kicking 2 goals 4 to 1 behind to lead by 4 points at the half. Collingwood 2-4. Carlton 1-6. As we take a look at the overall numbers, Carlton had a lot more of the football, Chelsea, but a lot of that has been under pressure. It's been a lot of handball receives under pressure, a lot of just going in ever-decreasing circles, particularly in that second term.
It has, and you know, that first quarter, Carlton really maintained possession of the football and those 45 kicks, really looking for it. Second quarter, obviously trying to use those handball receives, and then they're putting themselves under the pump, and we're doing those rush kicks and to no one. So trying to get the slow tempo back would be great.
And the turnaround in inside 50s in the first quarter, Abs, it was 12-2 Carlton's way. In the second term, it was 10-4 Collingwood's way. All the plays being to the left of screen. There's no win to speak of. Collingwood just turned it around.
No, there isn't, and I think it comes down to the pressure acts and the effort to make the tackles and really make sure that your side maintains possession. And we saw that from Carlton in the opening term. Collingwood completely flipped that on its head and really dominated that area in the second term, and hence look at the scoreline.
Our Host Plus high performance play to watch at the half is Carlton captain Brie Davey. Chelsea's had 12 possessions at 100%, 3 clearances as well. That's where she's at her best at the midfield, where she can just bust into space.
Just a strong body, Brie Davey. I mean, an absolute delight. I mean, captain of the team here, and she's just leading by example.
Wayne Seekman spoke pre-game about wanting to build upon last week's effort against GWS. It was clearly Collingwood's best effort. And certainly at quarter time, he was furious, according to Nat Edwards. He ripped into that group at quarter time. They responded in the second term, so we're going to be fascinated. Ruby Slice has been mic'd up throughout that first half. Let's listen in and see how it all played out.
Nice, Lily! Push up the ground. Well done! Make it safe, make it safe. Someone's gonna go. Well done, safe ways. Keep your feet, mate. I'm in space. Good, Britta. Don't let her have a sniff, mate. Keep going. Well done, mate. Go follow up. Lizzie, keep creating that context. Alright? You're showing. They're getting it to you. Keep creating it, alright? Great work. Great work.
So lots of positivity there from Ruby Slicer. There's Collingwood captain Steph Chiocci. She'd be pleased with her team's efforts. They're half a football away from their first win of the season. Well, one of the biggest challenges facing AFLW players is that balance between work, life and footy. And there's a new mural in Melbourne's northern suburbs that acknowledges that juggling act. It features Magpies Erica Fowler and Eliza Hines. They were on hand as it was officially unveiled last week.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking to kind of see our faces blown up in, I guess, such an iconic Melbourne style. I guess I'm intrigued as to how it's been portrayed. I guess I've never had anything so bigger than life size done of me, I guess. So it'd be nice to get the personality in a photo. I think. Yeah. So what are you thinking? I don't know. Let's have a look. Have a sneak peek. Oh, that's so good. Wow. That's amazing. And your ambulance. Oh, that's so neat. So my 9 to 5 job is actually working at Australia Post. Like, you read it, like, yeah, that's actually what I do. My day is 6 till 11 o'clock at night, trying to fit the 2 in. So to have the quote, ambition is beyond 9 to 5, it couldn't be more accurate. It really just hits hard and hits home. Yeah. It's a beautiful quote.
Great piece of art just off Johnston Street here in Melbourne as the Auskick kids enjoy themselves. It's still 35 degrees out there on Icon Park at the moment. Very, very warm conditions. It's one of the real gems of our game is Auskick. Registrations are open now at play.afl/Auskick as we take you back inside the Collingwood rooms. There's Shani Layton. And Chelsea, when you've been down and you've been beaten 4 weeks in a row, the positivity that must, and the confidence that must have come as Eddie Maguire is working as the towel boy at half-time. Everyone's getting involved. Everyone's up and about. But it'd be really buoyant in the rooms at half-time, you'd imagine, for the Pies.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's obviously they've had a tough couple of weeks, and to come out today, put it all behind, like we keep saying, it's do or die today, and these teams are putting on a show.
And Jay, Steph Jochi, the captain of this side, she might only have the 4 disposals to half-time, but the disposals early in that second half were really, for me, what really sparked this side. So well done to Steph, and hopefully she can do some big things in this second half.
And if someone could get a message to Ed, if you want to bring a few of those ice towels up here, it's about 87 degrees in the commentary box. That'd be much appreciated. Don't forget, if you're coming along to an AFLW game, bring your footy. Macca's Kick to Kick lets you get out on the field after the game, have a boot around and have some fun. It's half-time here at Icon Park. It's the Pies by 4 points.
Macca's Kick to Kick is bigger than ever. Follow in the footsteps of your heroes and have a kick to kick with your friends and family after every NAB AFLW game. Footy fans of all ages can now take a specky like Taylor Harris or kick a goal like Erin Phillips on AFLW grounds across the country. Make sure you join in the fun after the siren, thanks to Macca's Kick to Kick.
The Australian women's cricket team are unstoppable, and they're putting on a masterclass against the Kiwis. Now, in the final battle of the summer, can our Aussies make it a clean sweep?
And there's 100!
The 3-match one-day series against New Zealand concludes tomorrow from Melbourne. And you'll see it all, live and free on 7 Max.
Welcome back to Icon Park as one of the light towers just starts to turn itself back on. Nat Edwards, boundary side, you have more?
Yeah, they're just trying to work it out at the moment. It went out briefly for about a couple of minutes and they're just playing around with some things here. So it's Collingwood's forward pocket that the light stand has gone out. Let's hope they get things back up and running soon.
Yeah, you can just see in the wide shot there the difference that it made. A bit gloomy in that far forward pocket to the right of screen. The end to which Collingwood are attacking in this third term. They lead by 4 points. Great fight back in the second from them. Can Carlton come out with renewed vigour as Mullane comes cracking in at the first bounce on Lambert? Moody and Leighton. Moody the tap. Stratton goes hunting it at ground level. Spill out to Davey. Sweeps a handball forward to Sarah Hosking. She delivers inside 50. Vesey caught behind. Good effort from Brazel, couldn't quite bring it down. Vesey tries to spin through the Ross tackle. Downey links up with Prespakis. High kick. Standing underneath it to take the grab is Casey.
No one standing on the mark there for her.
So she trots away but turns it over. Hosking the fumble, puts herself under pressure. Guttridge did well, put the head down, won the contested ball. Got it to Kiochi. Out in the path of Stratton versus Stevens. The latter wins. Gives it to Sarah Hosking, who goes short and finds Davey.
Collingwood would do the numbers early out the back there, 3v1, and just supporting the contest with method.
Good to see that light tower almost fully re-engaged. Harris again runs underneath it for the second or third time tonight. Brazel goes short and finds Kiochi. And again, Chelsea, we see here just preparedness to hold it up and not just blast away. Look for an option, and it works. It's Guttridge at the back. She can go over the top. Rowe is really quick. If she can gather, she could be away. She slips one tackle, accelerates away from Pound, has got an option, didn't use it, and gone. Ran too far.
Oh.
The moment just got the best of the Irishwoman.
And for Sarah Rowe, fantastic for her to have the ability to run on and take the grass, but she had a player in basically running towards the goal, which she should have handballed or chipped over the top to.
And the moment is lost for the Pies. This is Dalton. Spears it low, not to the advantage of Edwards. She's got the job on Lambert tonight. It's been quite a battle. Lambert with 10 possessions has been influential. Just copped one there on the way past. How have you seen her game, Chelsea? Jamie Lambert.
Lambert has been, obviously Jess Edwards has done a really good job on her, keeping her quiet. That's what she does really well in tagging that role, and had a 2K run with her actually, and she killed me.
Yeah, she's a fine runner. Here's Jordan Allen, receives from Lambert. 65 from goal. So she looks for the short hit-up target. It works. Alexander plays on. Tight angle. Attacks the goal face. Pound extends and takes a wonderful mark. Such an improved player, Gab Pound, having a fantastic season.
ability just to read that in the air and back yourself in at a crucial time and take the mark and make sure of it.
Very Chelsea Randall-like, I might say.
Here's Davey. Steps through the traffic and releases Hosking. Can go for a run. Sarah Hosking goes looking for Downey. Good effort to get back and get a hand in there from Brazel. Now got a couple to beat. Blues need to work together. They do. Hosking followed up to provide some support for Downey. Good pressure from Brazel affected the kick. Edwards got on the end of it. Looks for an option inside 50. Perfect delivery to Harris. Beautiful kick from Jess Edwards. Harris can set sail from 50. Launches high. Vesey juggles. Couldn't quite. And Casey manages to slip away. Awkward kick, but Shevlin gathers well. Chips down the line to a one-on-one. Allen versus Stevens. Numbers with the Blues. Allen took possession, but the numbers will win out. Harrington left Alexander. Won the football. Pumps it high inside 50. Harris with a couple to beat in the air. Brazel at the front. It spills to Downey. Cast in the role of a rover, but sprays it wide. Out on the full.
It's not a role that you see Downey in often, is it? But Taylor Harris brought the ball to ground and Downey just got it on the boot towards goal. Just faded right.
Harris came thundering in and may have knocked herself out in the process. Davey across the body to Pressbarkis. And Taylor Harris slowly getting to her feet behind the play.
The courage from Harris. I mean, we know she's a great contested, ball winner there, but just to be able to impact the contest and bring it to ground for her teammates, that's the team kind of thing to do.
Just hurled herself back with reckless abandon. Now Maddie Pressbarkis. She's kicked 4 goals, 2 in her AFLW career. What a young talent she is. She is all class.
Huge contest there with Taylor Harris. She has made her way to the bench but looks to be okay. And Maddie Pressbarkis with the finish in front of goal. How good is this kid, Jace? Just 18 years of age in her 5th AFLW game and one of the best players in the competition, in my opinion.
Back in the middle. Blues looking to respond in this third term. They've started well. Now it's on the Pies to withstand the pressure. Kiochi scuttles through some traffic. Kicks towards half forward. Guttridge worked underneath it. She's been really impressive. Held her position. Couldn't quite control it. Davey to Woods. Smothered off her boot in the loins direction. Couldn't gather. Kiochi again with poise in the middle of the ground. Has really turned the game for the Pies, as has this lady. Lambert goes short. Back to Lambert from Membry. Over the top to Rose. She gets on the end of it. Wants to play on. Takes on Stevens. This time she does pop it over the top to Guttridge. First goal in AFLW to Darcy Guttridge.
Just an awesome goal. I mean, debut here, and she's got that one there. But I love the work rate from Lambert. Right in the word go, we had Lambert working hard, makes the tackle, had a significant amount of touches in that play there to get that goal.
Great moment for the 18-year-old from Terrelgan, and the Pies respond. We've got ourselves a contest here at Icon Park. Collingwood back in front, and Abs, before the game we spoke about their lack of short kicks and handballs to retain possession. Tonight they're doing it, and they're doing it well.
They are, they 100% are, and we just saw Sarah Rowe as well. She learnt from her mistake before getting caught holding the ball by not handballing over to her teammate. She does it. Darcy Guttridge gets gets the shot on goal, and there's 6 points.
Moody to McKay, gives it off to Pressbarkis, but her kick inside 50 is picked off by Brazel. Chips the kick. Woods goes back with the flight. Benici will get there first. Woods looks to run her down. Can't stick the tackle as Benici takes some territory. And there's going to be a free kick for a hold off the ball. It's going Collingwood's way. There's Taylor Harris just regaining her composure after that desperate attack on the ball.
Seeing some nice little checks down the field of Collingwood's forward 50 here as well. Off the ball.
Once again, the tidy delivery, and Rose, the link player, becoming very influential in this game, as is this young lady, Jordan Allen. Allen delivers short, this time misses the target. Pound got a hand on it. Here's the dangerous Lambert. Runs to 52, looks for the delivery over the top to Lynch. It spills to the back. Chance for the Pies. Lynch gathers. Guttridge for 2 in 2 minutes. Hits the post. She's really enjoying herself, and that light tower is out again.
It is, and that pocket for Collingwood is quite dark, so players will have to adjust to that. But Guttridge, another shot on goal. with the poster, but Sarah Rowe, once again, she just wants to run and gun and is proving to be an excellent League Cup player for Collingwood.
Bree Davey lurking in the shadows. Confronted by Brazel. Bounces to Vesey with that tight turning circle. Spins and delivers to Walker. Couldn't quite complete the mark. Slicer will come at her. Take her to the line. Umpire says illegally, got in the back. It's going to be a free kick to Carlton. And now it's on the Blues to respond after Collingwood lifted. Carlton good early in the third. Collingwood responded. Taylor Harris checking back into the game. And now it's up to the Blues as these two teams go goal for goal in the third. McKay off her chest. She can gather. She's got Prespakis in support. Also Georgia G. Run down from behind. Affected the kick. Umpire said illegally. She was taken high.
Carlton working really hard here for their front position in those forwards there, which is just really great work by them.
And Jace, we're just seeing Bree Davey on screen now. 6 disposals early in this third term, so she really is trying to lift her side.
G delivers to Prespakis. Well, she's already becoming one of the premier midfielders in the competition, and as we've seen in the men's competition, the most valuable midfielders like Erin Phillips in the women's, Chelsea, those who can also go forward and do damage on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's just exciting to watch. And again, we're saying, just holding that front position and getting that 1 metre in front of your defender is just crucial.
Asked Daniel Harford during the week what makes her so good. He said she's just a natural footballer. She's been playing since she was 5 years old. She makes good decisions. She's got solid skills. That one drops just short. Was rushed through for a minor score.
And she had 20 plus and 3 against GWS a few weeks ago, Jace. And it's already kicked one and looking incredibly dangerous in this third term.
Carlton runner Andy Marr mic'd up for us in the second half. Looking forward to hear what he has to say after the game. Brazel slips away from Harris. And here's Rowe once again. Really thriving. She goes over the top and
Harris
again hits a target, Lambert.
Harris still down inside a forward 50 there after trying to leap for Brazel in a tackle there.
Shevlin keeps it alive, but once again Pound in good position. So Pound goes towards Loynes. Allen back with the flight with courage, affected the contest. At ground level, the Blues have some numbers. Crashing through was Jess Hosking. Throws it on the boot, gains some territory. But Slicer can take the uncontested mark as Vesey arrived late. Looks to switch to centre half back. Just over the head of Dalton and into the arms of Hines. She can go short to Kiochi. Misses the target. Kiochi with some time. Gathers. Kicks to a one-on-one. Stevens read it well. Got front position on Allen. Took the mark. Delivers it back inside 50. The strategic push from Casey. Vesey went to ground. Slaps it to McKay. She's got a couple of players lining up, but the handball missed Loynes. Once again, it's Brazel to tidy up. She's the launch pad from half back, and this time it's Shevlin on the end of it. Collingwood getting some flow and some fluency into their game. They've changed up their ball movement, and it's working for them. Lambert under pressure once again from Edwards, who's been on her shoulder all night. Shevlin down the line. Pound and Rowe. This is turning into one heck of a battle as well. One-on-ones all over the ground to save her at the moment. And that one's a break even as Harris comes off once again.
And she's cradling that right shoulder, Jay, so she's just reached out trying to catch Braz, and that doesn't look good at all. So fingers crossed Taylor Harris can get back out there.
She's got a long history of shoulder issues. Taylor Harris missed a game this season already with a shoulder problem. As it's delivered to 50, Van Dijk slides in, lays a tackle and wins the free kick. 4 minutes remaining in this third term, and it's the Pies with the lead. Van Dijk with the quick switch, looking for Pound. It's Harrington goes towards Stevens, who did well. Used the body, experience there on Allen. She can take a couple of bounces, now needs to hit a target. Moody slides in, couldn't take the mark. Handball too fierce for Dalton. Moody now taken to ground. Dargan lurking as G comes in over the top. And Moody coming off, she's bleeding from the nose. Mullane will check in. Some confusion on the Carlton bench. Wilson comes on as well as they make a double change. Dalton. Prespakis just read that quicker than Benici. They stood shoulder to shoulder, but Prespakis read it quicker. Got there first. Puts it out into the path of Vesey. Strong-bodied Ross with her. Ross did well, better to the football, wins the one-on-one. Just takes territory to the outer side. Rowe will get there first. Tries to flip it up. It spills to Shevlin. She's away. Got Lynch over the top. Lynch will have Alexander inside 50 if she can gather. She's going to have to turn around Harrington. Does that. Goes inside 50. It's punched away from Alexander. Working hard there is Van Dyke. High kick towards the top of the square. They come from all sides, and Bree Davies been pushed back deep and saves the day as Bree Moody receives some attention.
It's an exciting passage of play, and Carlton again with the numbers just in that back line.
Davey to Wilson. Wilson and Woods. They were co-captains of the Eastern Rangers last year, debuting together tonight, and they combine on that play. Pressparkers couldn't control it. Slisher did. Got it to Benici. She delivers down the line. And Lynch taken over by Hosking. So just over 2 minutes remaining in the third term. Collingwood by 4 points as they go hunting their first ever win over the Blues, and a win that would keep their season alive. Throw in Downey the tap. Dalton at the front. Shevlin gathers. High kick to 50. Alexander at the front. Harrington just lent on her well. Protected the space. Called to go. And does to Pound. Stevens trying to get loose to provide an option to the near side, as you can see there at the centre screen.
Carlton have tried to switch the last few passages of play, but to Collingwood's effect, they're not letting them through. They're defending incredibly well.
So Harrington goes short to Dalton, and now it's up to the Blues to be patient and methodical with their ball movement. Dalton goes to Pressparkers. Benici did well, just nudged her underneath it and took the mark. Late chance for the Pies with 90 seconds left on the clock. Inside 50. And another mark. This is Dargan. She winds up from 50. Kicks to the top of the square. Guttridge at the front. Stratton immediately tackled by Sarah Hosking. Won't break that. And it's the Blues now hanging on, as Taylor Harris gets more work on her shoulder. Downey, Hosking, Stevens. Grant, it slapped away. Woods and Grant go at it. Woods did well, kept her feet, won the football. Got it to Vesey, who's pushed up to get involved. Little chip kick over the top, but it's Collingwood back there again. Slisher, 50 seconds left in the third. She's got a couple of options. Can Leighton control it? She can't. She's got some support. They link up and get it to Grant. Grant will flip it over the top. Good pressure from the Blues as we head to Nat Edwards with an injury update.
Taylor Harris is still getting her shoulder assessed. Actually, she's just about to come back on the ground now, it appears. So she's about to come back on. Georgia G is the other concern for Carlton. She has a right knee issue. They're just testing that out at the moment.
Thanks, Nat. 37 seconds left. Just turning into a real arm wrestle. Entertaining game at Icon Park. Leighton over the top. Pound and Grant. In fact, it's Millie Mullane under the bottom of that pack.
And both teams, have only got 30 seconds left here. Both teams are willing to try and get that ball and just get it inside their own forward 50 to see if they can create one more last chance.
Can someone get a clean takeaway? The Pies can. It's Benici. Blasted inside 50. Turns Hosking around. She'll get there first. Got a horrible bounce. So did Stevens. It comes back to Hosking. Pound. Stevens. Could use the line. Good tackle. Good pressure from the Pies. It's still alive for Rowe. 10 seconds left. Rowe tries to bust through Vesey. Free kick high. Collingwood shot at goal. The siren will sound, and Sarah Rowe will have a chance to go back and kick her first goal in AFLW football and give the Pies a very, very handy lead.
This will be huge for Sarah Rowe and the Pies if she can slot this one through. She really has been instrumental for them across that high half-forward role in this third term and ignited them going forward. So hopefully she can finish strongly here, Jace.
Deep breath. Trots in. Close to the player on the mark. It's online. Has it got the carry? It does! Massive moment for Sarah Rowe. Huge moment for the Pies as Steph Chiocci implores her players to get in here. It's the Pies by 10 points at three-quarter time. Collingwood 4-5-29. Carlton 2-7-19 on Saturday Night Footy. Here's the story so far from Icon Park on Saturday Night Football. The first quarter was all Carlton. They dominated, 12 inside 50s to 2. They kicked 1 goal 5 though, costly inaccuracy. They led by 11 points at the first change. Wayne Seekman, Collingwood coach, gave the Collingwood side a rev at quarter time. They responded in the second term, kicked 2 unanswered goals, controlled the play and took the lead through youngsters like Jordan Allen. And at half-time they led by 4 points. Third term, Carlton took the early lead. Collingwood, through their youngsters, Guttridge and Rowe and Allen, fought back hard. And then Sarah Rowe on the siren, after the siren in fact, kicked a goal to give Collingwood a 10-point lead. And at three-quarter time, they are 1 quarter away from their first win of the season. Let's head down to Nat. She's got Wayne Seekman, the Collingwood coach.
Yeah, Wayne, 10 points up, 1 quarter away from your first win of the season. What was the message to the girls?
Just stay cool and calm. All right, we know in that last quarter, last 5 minutes was hectic. Take a mark, let's just kill the clock for a bit, stay cool and calm, and gaps are open up because Carlton are going to get very offensively here, and we've trained for this, so we can really just put pressure back on them by just fighting and staying cool and calm. So we'll see what we're made of. We've really turned around after a really poor start again. The last 2 quarters are playing the way we want to play, and now we've got an opportunity to finish it off, and I'm excited to see what this young developing group can do.
So am I. Good luck.
Thank you.
Cool and calm, the message from Wayne Seekman. Chels, take us inside the Carlton huddle. If you're Daniel Harford, what would your message have been to the players at three-quarter time?
Yeah, look, I mean, you've got one more battle left, really. It's about Carlton just trying to bring back some of those relentless efforts. We want to bring back some of that physical kind of pressure and take some risk, have a bit more belief in themselves. And, you know, we've got Davey, Prasparkas and Pound as their major ball winners there. We saw that before. Let's try and get some other players involved and get them on the touch of the footy.
That last goal from Sarah Rose, so vital. Extends it out to 10 points. The Blues, if they win tonight, they're in the top 2. If Collingwood win, they're back in the finals hunt as we start the final term at Icon Park. Prasparkas hunts it at ground level. Couldn't take it cleanly, pressured by Rowe. Goes back to Pound, who pulls her kick. Makes Sarah Hosking have to work a little, but she's up to the task. Turns and kicks on the spin. Awkward bounce, well gathered by Ross. Now Lambert, short to Kiochi, and Collingwood's ball usage tonight has been impressive. This short game they've been playing has really worked for them. And this young lady showing plenty. Jordan Allen, their first pick in the draft last season, showing why. Goes inside 50, good contest from Lynch. Harrington, under pressure, had to release the handball quickly. 3 Blues there to work it out. Hosking to Van Dyke, kicks off the back foot. Clears the contest to Vesey, looks to turn Ross. On her left boot, floats it towards Harris. One-on-one with Livingston, gets there first. Goes to ground, shovels a handball back to Vesey, slides in. Harris can go again, wins the football, shrugs a tackle, kicks inside 50. It's a 2-on-2. Moody at ground level, couldn't take it cleanly. Here's the speedster, handball over the top. Moody, 20 out, can she finish? Hits the post. The Blues have kicked a lot of posters in the last couple of weeks, and they have been costly.
Unfortunate finish there for Moody with the run in on goal, but Vesey Harris, that's what you want to be hearing, Jay. So a strong start by Carlton, and hopefully they can get ball in hand inside their forward 50 and have more shots on goal.
This first goal so crucial as Slisher takes territory, thumps it long. 2-on-2 in the air, it spills to Leighton. She's got Kiochi, who's immediately going to be tackled by Van Dyke. Prasparkas with the crumb, pumps it back inside 50. Moody, strong hands.
Great pressure up the ground, and just, you know, that's what you want to see, just that relentless effort, and causes a turnover, and now you've got a shot on goal, hopefully here for Carlton.
40 metres out, this will take her best effort. She can kick a very long ball if she gets onto it. Off a couple of steps, it's going to fall in the square. Off hands, at the back, goal, Downey! 19th game, second goal for Al Downey, and couldn't have been much more important. It's a 3-point game.
Yeah, it's the 2 tools doing the damage down there, with Moody taking a great grab, kicking it long, and Downey finishing off.
Davey can't get away from Leighton. Good play from Dalton. She's got speed, but she's got Shevlin on her shoulder. Here's Loynes, can't bust through Brazel. Tempo gone up a notch from both teams. So much to play for. The Blues win tonight. They're up into the top 2. They're in a final spot. Collingwood win. They're within a game with 2 to play. It's Benici. Sneaks away. Kicks to the centre. Harrington up in front. That's a very good mark against Alexander.
Smart by Harrington there. She got caught behind but just repositioned herself. Used some of those basketball moves and the agility there to get in front.
She goes short to another former basketballer in Downey. The champion of the WNBL. Hands it off. Harrington, low trajectory, spearing kick inside 50 past Vesey. Moody at the back. G lurking, couldn't take it. Kiochi committed her body. Loins in over the top. Free kick high, Collingwood.
Yeah, the first one not paid, but Steph Kiochi earning the free kick on the second impact. But you can feel the intensity is just lifted. And that's exactly, I think, what half, Chelsea, as you were saying, he would have just gone in there and said, girls, go back to what we did in that opening term, because that was where we dominated the play.
Exactly.
2-on-1, Carlton's way. Sarah Hosking, she knew what she was doing. Drew the traffic, gave it off to Van Dyke. High kick inside 50. Moody flies, couldn't quite bring it down. Blues have got Crummers. Georgia G, quick snap towards the top of the square. Spills over the back. Livingston in best position and happy to walk it across the line. So it's Carlton turning on the pressure now.
Yeah, they're looking so dangerous inside that 50 arc. Much more deliberate approach into that 50, and it's paying dividends with them early in this final term.
Moody will go in the ruck against Leighton. Davey lurking at the front with Dargan. Beats them both. Lambert off a step. High ball, up and under. Harrington again. Judged it beautifully in the air against Alexander. 52 metres from goal. Chips it up. They'll contest 20 metres out. Good mark, Emma Grant. Solid veteran. And tidy usage. Finds Allen. So as Wayne Seekman said, don't panic, stay calm, soak up some time, retain possession. It's worked for them since quarter time. Slisher went with the kick. It's spilt wide, but it's inside the arc, so it'll still be a throw in.
The idea is there. I mean, Collingwood really looking to try and change lanes and take a few more risks as well to get the numbers out here. But, Carlton have still got those 2 spares out the back there, so it's hard to get past that.
Moody and Leighton. Moody at the front, tried to get it for Sparkus. Clean hands to Davey, couldn't quite take it. Benici just put her head down, crashed through and earned herself a free kick. And that is her MO. Britt Benici, fearless in and around the contest. Uncertain of her options in the end, almost got shut down by Davey, and in the end turns it over to Mullane. It's called to play on. She doesn't realise that she's going to get nailed in the tackle by Membry. It was touched off the boot, I believe. And Membry in the end did her a favour, really. Mullane was a sitting duck, had no idea what was coming. Downey and Hines, great tap Downey. Here's Mullane. Slipped through the tackle, got it to Pressparkus. Now to Walker, but she sprays the kick. Collingwood ball. Taylor Harris will stand the mark. Ball's with Livingston. Looked inside for the switch. We'll go conservative down the line. Brazel read it well, so did Downey. Didn't quite sit for Dargan, but the idea was right. And Jess Hosking sees it out.
And that's generally your options. I mean, you're either looking inside to see if you can make a switch or maybe a short 45 kind of kick. And if there's nothing on, it's just long down the ground and seeing if you can try and create another stoppage like they've done here.
And the clock continues to tick. Only time on in the last couple of minutes of each quarter. So every time it goes out, it soaks up a bit more clock. Hosking tackled hard immediately by Kais. So Collingwood by 3 points. The Blues with the ascendancy so far in this last quarter. But Collingwood digging in. And off the ball, it's going to be a free kick. Mackay just came in from the boundary line. Abby Mackay, rather. And she was taken out as she was trying to get to the contest by Sophie Casey. It was more than 5 metres off the ball. Free kick to the Blues. Harris slightly underneath it again, but she'll gather at ground level. Puts it on her boot. Bends it inside 50. It pitches inside the line and stays alive. And Grant sees it over.
And that's what you would be asking for Taylor Harris in this fourth term. We know that she might be playing with a bit of a sore shoulder, but take the leaps. You might not get the marks, but bring the ball to ground, and it's those second and third efforts that make her so dangerous at ground level.
Intensely focused Daniel Harford. His side trails by 3 points. huge 8 minutes in their season ahead. Downey out of the ruck. Moody in the goal square, couldn't quite hang on. It's a 2-point game, but those two tools inside 50, Chelsea, are looking dangerous.
They certainly are, aren't they? And I mean, just keeping that one kick away from the stoppage or from the ball there, and we're giving themselves a lot of opportunities.
Harris sets herself. Loins at the back. That's almost deliberate. Umpire says throw it in. It doesn't get much more deliberate than that, Abs. Livingston saw the line and smashed it straight over.
I think Chelsea and I both signalled up here in the commentary box that it was deliberate, but no joy.
When you look at deliberate on the DVD they sent out at the start of the year, that's pretty much it.
Well, we're all umpires and coaches on the side.
That's right. We're never wrong in the commentary box, Chelsea. That's why you've got to come join us. We never make mistakes up here. Here's Hosking. Through some traffic. Throws it on the boot to get some territory, but it's nicely read. Kick towards half forward. Lynch over the back. He's got Wilson for company. Wilson with speed tries to get to the front. And it's slapped over the line. We head boundary side. Nat Edwards, it's been a busy night on the injury front. Collingwood players getting some treatment.
It sure is. Sophie Alexander's the latest. She's come off and had her right knee assessed. It looks like the medial side of her right knee. She's just sitting on the bench at the moment. I'll keep an eye on her.
We hit the 6-minute mark. Pies by 2 points. Stratton at the back. They haven't been forward often tonight. Walker ran her down. Umpire says play on. Ball was dislodged in the tackle. It's in dispute. Downey's having a massive last quarter. Dalton goes to the voice. It's Walker. She gains a bit of territory. Loins surrounded by Magpies. Somehow finds Walker. Loins to ground again. No free kick. Umpire will call for it. So Collingwood now happy to get numbers around the football, Chelsea, as the pressure starts to build on Carlton. That 2-point deficit.
It's, I mean, obviously 2 points into this game. We've got a bit of a blood rule now as Emma Grant makes her way off the field here.
It's amazing how, Abs, 2 points so different to the mindset of each team. It's less than a goal, but for Collingwood, they're thinking, hey, let's just bottle it up. Carlton like, let's not get too desperate and too panicky here, but they're trying to open it up.
It is. At the end of the day, 2 points is 2 points Collingwood's way. So they're trying not to concede any play inside Carlton's forward 50, and they'll be happy to just go stoppage after stoppage because at the end of the day, that'll get them the win.
And it soaks up time, as we said. No time on till the last 2 minutes as Dargan now walks it over.
But really interesting to watch this stoppage. I mean, the previous boundary throw-in we had, our midfielders for both teams not keeping their eye on the footy, and you know, sometimes we're just kind of fixated on the rucks and what they're doing when the ball may fall short. So it's really important as a midfielder to keep our eyes on the footy as the ball comes in and read it off the hands.
Moody against Hines. There's one that goes over the back. Slapped down Dargan. Good spoil from Moody. Kept it in the area. Got it to Loins. She gained a little bit of territory. The Blues just looking for some open play. Harris and Slisher go hard at it. It spills out. Dalton couldn't get a spare kick in. Here is Mullane. She'll turn. Bounce it towards 50. G tracks back. Vesey comes out. Ross has been her shadow for most of the night. And another stoppage as the clock continues to tick. Can the Blues just orchestrate some time and space to get a shot at goal and regain this lead? Under 4 minutes. Both teams catch their breath. Moody and Hines. Hines attacked it. Tried to get it to Lambert. Davey kept her feet. She's gang tackled and dumped into the turf. Umpire says play on. It's slapped out into a dangerous position. Here's a chance for the Blues. Mullane can't get it on her boot, but Edwards can. It's inside 50. Coming out to meet it is Vesey. One-on-one with Ross. Casey at the back. Here's Vesey. A snap from Darcy. Vesey is good! Blues lead! Well, tonight, Abs, Darcy struggled with the set shots where she's had time to think. That one all instinct.
Get her in play and hand, or ball in hand, and Darcy Vesey, we know how dangerous she is in front of goal, so they will certainly be trying to feed her as much footy as they can in this final term.
And Chelsea, in a moment, tell us about how the mindset now changes. Everything now swaps around. It's Carlton with the lead.
It's definitely a mind-boggling kind of game, isn't it? It swings one way and then the next. We're in for an awesome last 3 minutes here.
So now it's the Blues will be happy to bottle it up, and it's incumbent on Collingwood to try and get it into space. Stratton tries to do just that, and Carlton send their big bodies into the middle. Katie Loins, the veteran warrior.
And we see here Bree Davey just heading down back as well in the Collingwood's forward forward line there.
Well spotted, Chels. Here's Lambert. She's taken off it by Edwards. Mullane happy now just to wrap it up. And Abs, it's all just completely changed around. The Blues now happy to collapse on the football.
Absolutely. Stoppage after stoppage and you win the game. But as we said, mindset for this Collingwood Pies is they need to get the ball forward and score.
Dalton slips away from Stratton, just gets it on the boot. It's smothered, but it'll ricochet to Mullane. She can look up and head towards Harris at half forward. Stops and props. Livingston, G at the back. Under pressure. Nudged out of it by Casey. She walks it to the line, but that no longer helps Collingwood.
It's been a topsy-turvy contest, hasn't it, Jace? But it's crazy how things can change in a short space of time. It seemed to be all Collingwood in those middle 2 quarters, and the game was on their terms. 3 minutes to go, or less than, and Carlton win.
And time on now in effect, so the clock stops at 2:39.
This is why we love footy.
Wayne Seekman helpless in the coach's box. Davey steams in from the back of the contest. Harris under pressure from Livingston. Shrugs the tackle, somehow gets boot to ball. G at the front. Casey's got her wrapped up.
Carlton's endeavour there just to try and surge the ball forward and try and keep it in that forward half. I mean, it's hard to try and get the ball back out for Collingwood, back out that side against their defence.
Hines the tap. Here's Dalton, who's been fantastic. Gets good purchase on the kick. Vesey in position again. Over the back for Ross. Vesey lurking, one-handed pickup. Might have been taken high. Play on. Livingston dispossessed. Blues working hard. Free kick. Dropping the football. Carlton shot at goal for Brooke Walker. And what a moment to go back and kick for your first goal in AFLW football. She was an emergency in the squad that won gold at the Rio Olympics in the Rugby Sevens. Originally from New Zealand, moved to Gold Coast as a teenager. Came down to Melbourne last year from Sydney to play VFLW. And this is her moment. Brooke Walker. 25 out. Minor score.
It's okay. With 1:30 to go, all Carlton need to do is keep that ball inside their forward 50. Man on man. Pressure needs to be the highest that it's been throughout this entire contest.
Pies need to go coast to coast. So they launch it long. Rowe was the target. Blues want to hold it up. Rowe will chase it down at ground level. Has to try and escape Harrington. Swings onto her left to keep it moving. Finds Kiochi. 1:15 to go. The skipper just gets it and goes. Allen's got a couple of metres on her opponent. Van Dyke takes it. Rowe kept running. The Pies going for broke in the final minute of this game. Kick towards half forward. Edwards to ground. Umpire says play on. And Jess Edwards off a step. Heads towards the line. Harrington and Rowe. Allen there. Can't quite get to it. And with 51 seconds left on the clock, it is within striking range for the Pies.
How is the work rate from Chochi there? You just, to see her up here, just absolutely sprint down to try and get to that contest.
It's been called a last touch rule, Collingwood ball. So it'll be kicked inside 50. Brazel can't get a run at it. It'll spill at ground level. Massive crumb from Hosking. Gets some territory. Prespakis gathers. Gets some territory towards half forward. It's a 2-on-1. Collingwood have the numbers. Harris gets in to try and affect it. McKay links up with G. Handball over the top. Dalton couldn't take it cleanly. 30 seconds. G gets it forward. It's a 1-on-1 inside 50. The strong body of Casey couldn't take it cleanly. Here's Walker again. Can give it to Harris. Harris can't control it. Pressure telling. Casey comes in, lays a tackle. Slicer in over the top. And with 13 seconds, 12 now on the clock.
I think a lot of Carlton players there spent it before they had it there. There was a couple of fumbles.
And I think even with Harris, she was trying to get the ball out. Just hold it in, create the stoppage. There's 10 seconds to go.
Loins stripped. Lambert smothered. Dargan fighting to the end. Fisted forward by Membry. Rowe, Guttridge, and gutted are the Pies. Disappointment. They fought all the way, but it's the Blues maintaining their perfect record over the Pies, and they're back in the top 2 race.
We are the old dark Navy Blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team old Carlton knows. We're all the champions they like to send up. We'll keep our end up. and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark blues.
Well, Chelsea, that was as fierce and ferocious a contest as you would expect from a Carlton-Collingwood game.
Wasn't it just? I mean, I can't tell whether it's a heat up here, but I'm sweating, or whether it was just the intense game that we've just watched there. I mean, a great contest from both sides, and you know, it swung one way for one quarter, and it swung another, and that's why we love football, because you know, we just don't know what's going to happen next, Abs.
Yeah, and your heart does break for this Collingwood side. They were gallant in the second and third quarters, but unfortunately both of these two sides have been guilty of not playing 4 quarters, and at the end of the day you've got to play 4 quarters to win a game of footy. Carlton just lucky here that they came good in this final term and got a few shots on goal.
Darcy Vesey with the winning goal at the 12.5-minute mark of the final term. Here she is with Nat.
Darcy, you summed it up there. It's an emotional roller coaster, so tight, and somehow the ball ends up in your hands and you kick the winning goal.
Stressful. As my record sits tonight, I wasn't really on target, so I'm just so thankful Tay did the team thing, shepherded it through. I owe that goal to Tay.
I mean, set shots, probably not your strong point this season so far. Is it a little bit easier when you get a quick snap?
Yeah, I think when you have a ball in play, you don't feel that pressure as much, whereas usually I'm okay at set shots, but this year haven't been the best, but I'll just keep practicing it, so I'll be right.
The Pies really came at you guys, especially in the second and third quarter. What was the difference in that final term?
I think we just, really put pressure on around the ball. We knew if we got it in our front half and locked it in, we should have a really good chance at getting on top, and I'm just thankful we did. Feels good.
Well done. Enjoy the win.
Thanks, Nat.
Well done to Darcy Vesey on the Pies. Devastation for Steph Chiocci. Really disappointing for her team. That's 2 weeks in a row they've been highly competitive. Last week against GWS, this week against Carlton. But the reality, Abs, it's a brutal one. It's a win-loss business, isn't it?
It is. And last week, they were good for 3 quarters. They were just 26 points down at quarter time, so left their run way too late. And tonight, as I said, they played really well in that second and third quarter, but unfortunately, Carlton just turned on the burners and come away with the points in this final term.
Brie Davey, 20 possessions at 95% efficiency. Here she is with Nat.
Brie, congratulations. What a win. Carlton now in the top 2 in Conference B. I mean, anything can really happen for you guys this season.
Yeah, no, it's right. It's a funny old league, this one. Sometimes, you can be sort of in an ordinary position and then you get a win on the board and you all of a sudden find yourself in a pretty decent one. So, we're just happy to get the win, and that's what we were obviously focusing on today, just getting this game done and then move on to next week.
Where were you when Darcy kicked that goal?
Oh, I was almost on the floor about to cry. That's where I was. But, I was just stoked. We've been close in games and then sort of let it slip, and this one we just kept forward fighting and got the results.
All right, we'll go sing the song with the girls.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
The Blues jump to second in Conference B. They're a game behind Geelong now, as Collingwood just gutted. 0-5. A fine effort. They get clapped off, and rightly so. They gave it everything they had. They fought back so hard. They held the lead for most of the middle part of the match. And as we mentioned, it wasn't until Darcy Vesey snapped that goal at the 12.5-minute mark of the last quarter, Abs, that the Blues got their noses back in front and then were able to shut it down and close out those last couple of minutes.
And it's funny, isn't it? I touched on it during that final term, but when Darcy Vesey and Taylor Harris are getting hands on the footy, this entire side lifts. So we saw Darcy up around the centre mark and then kicking forwards up forward.
That's a moment that Charlotte Wilson, Emerson Woods and Abby McKay will never forget. Their first AFLW victory, and what a memorable one it was. The Blues coming from behind to score a 5-point win and get into the top 2 once again in the race for the finals. What a game of football. Coming out to meet it is Vesey. One-on-one with Ross. Casey at the back. Here's Vesey. A snap from Darcy. Vesey is good! Blues lead! What a finish from Darcy Vesey. And as that old cliche goes, Chelsea, it may not be your night, but it might be your moment. And Darcy was the perfect example of that tonight.
She certainly was. I mean, you heard her after the game. We know her set shots haven't been the greatest, but her work rate around the ground in presenting up in the forward line and just some of those snapshots, she's an exciting player to watch when it's in her hands.
Take a look at the overall numbers. In the end, the Blues had a mountain of inside 50s, 36-23. They did control the game in the first quarter and the last quarter. Collingwood didn't score in either of those quarters. And in the end, the Blues managed to steal one. Despite having 1-5 in that first quarter, if they had have gone down tonight by a couple of points, they really would have been kicking themselves at that early inaccuracy when they did control the game.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it was an exciting match for everyone that came down to Icon Park and watch here, but a great contest by both teams.
Well, when it was time to stand up tonight, we were just talking off camera, it was Carlton's veterans that got it done. Bree Davey, Darcy Vesey, Katie Loynes did some good things. Some of their senior players really stood up in the key moments, and none more so than Bree Davey, who was outstanding from the start. As predicted, she played in a whole heap of roles, Ab. She played just about every position on the ground tonight. 20 possessions at 95% efficiency, 10 contested, 5 clearances, 5 inside 50s.
Pretty impressive numbers there, Jace. But Bree Davey, skipper of this side for a reason. She really stands up when it matters. She always seems to have so much time and space. She's an excellent ball user and very rarely wastes it. So she was fantastic at 95%. Unbelievable.
She's an amazing player, isn't she?
She is. She's electric. And
there's only one other player in the comp that I think might be as versatile as her.
Erin Phillips.
Yeah, I knew you would say that. I knew it. I left the door open. Darn it. Bree Davey, our Morris Blackburn blessed on ground. $1,000 rather, thanks to Morris Blackburn, who always fight for fair. Well, the leading ball getter tonight might surprise you. She just accumulates. She just keeps going and gets the football. It's Maddie Prespaka. She had 21 touches, 8 of those contested, 4 inside 50s and a goal. Another fantastic night from this young up-and-comer. Here she is with Nat.
Maddie, congratulations on the win. It's the second time you've got to sing the song this season. How does that feel?
Oh, I love the song. I mean, it's just it's good to get a win again, and to finally win at home this season is even better, and to have the 2 debutants get to sing the song today is pretty special, and yeah, I couldn't be any happier.
You're in the top 2 now, Carlton are, in Conference B. Finals are clearly an option for you. How far do you think this team can go?
Oh, I think it's really the unknown for us. We don't know how far we can and how far we can go. I mean, we just continue to keep working hard, and we're just a brand new outfit this year, and the way we've been working through our pre-season throughout the week, and to finally get a win and fight hard in the second half like we needed to was definitely what we needed, and it's even better that we got a win, and now the girls are just super excited, and that's what we want.
Last week you copped a tag, same again tonight. Are you getting used to that? Is it getting harder or easier to work through?
I wouldn't say getting used to it, obviously. I'm only 18, so it's something I've got to sort of build with, and I'm working with the coaches and a bit of midfielders like Breezer and stuff like that, and they're helping me with ways to get through that. And I mean, I'm sort of, for the last 2 games of the season, I think I'm going to expect that, and I've had it 2 weeks in a row now, so I don't see why not for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, I don't really go into games thinking about it. Obviously it's a little bit hard at first, but you get used to it, and you just got to keep pushing through, and the girls helped me heaps tonight.
Well, you were superb tonight. Well done.
Thank you.
Such an old head on her shoulders, doesn't she, Maddie Prespaka? Because it is easy to forget she's 18 years of age. And as I mentioned, Chelsea earlier asked Daniel Harford during the week what makes her so special. And he said she's just a natural player. She's been playing since she's 5. Her depth of knowledge and understanding to make decisions, the little things that maybe we don't even notice, just the little split-second decisions, she's just ahead of the game.
And Maddie, I mean, how beautifully spoken was she as well? 18 years of age, saying, I mean, she's tagged tonight, but still ends up with 21 disposals, and yeah, just an outstanding footballer.
And I say that there's so much expectation on her now as one of the main ball winners in this side, but she's handling the pressure brilliantly with another 21 tonight in just her 5th AFLW game. It's unbelievable.
Well, the man who handles pressure, he eats it for breakfast, is Andy Marr. We're used to having him mic'd up in the front bar here on 7 throughout the season. Tonight he was wearing a 7 mic of a different kind in his role as Carlton runner. So Mick Molloy and Sam Pang, hit record on your DVR. Here's Andy Marr, wide for sound.
Shah, girls, must be 1-on-1. When they're coming in, we've got to pick someone up.
must pick them up when they're coming in. Get one-on-one. Mill, go. Jess, go. Let's go, Emo. Duna, you're on the ball. Yeah, she's got it. Righto, girls. Righto, it's our quarter now. Come on, girls, big quarter now. It's a goal, dudes. Oh, Duna got it. Charlotte, push up on to number 16.
The joy we get from that, just the pure joy. The scouting report on Andy Marr from around the club is never has a runner been more passionate about his job. He completes all the training sessions like a player. They absolutely love him.
And I can imagine he would provide some great humour around trainings and even games. So really good to see him involved with the women's team this year.
Well, Andy, Mick and Sam will be back in the front bar Wednesday, March 20, the night before Carlton face Richmond in the season opener at the MCG, live on 7. You can expect Mick and Sam have been polishing their material around Andy's running for a good 5 weeks now. I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with. Chelsea, thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure to work with you. Good luck tomorrow. We appreciate you being here tonight.
Cool. Thanks for having me, guys. I've had lots of fun and it was an awesome game to be a part of.
It was a fantastic game. We'll be back with more from Icon Park shortly. We'll head down into the Collingwood rooms. We'll look ahead to the remainder of round 5. And there's plenty more great sporting action coming your way on the screens of 7 in the coming months, including the nation's best swimmers gathering in Adelaide in April for the national trials. It'll be used to select our World Championship team. You'll see it all live and free on 7.
The superstars of Australian swimming are back in the pool. And the road to Tokyo 2020 starts right now. The Campbell sisters, Olympic champs Kyle Chalmers and Mac Horton, Commonwealth Games hero Mitch Larkin, and rising star Ariane Titmus.
Gold for Australia.
The Australian Swimming Championships begins Sunday, April 7, live and free on 7.2 and 7+.
Macca's kick to kick in full swing at Icon Park on a very, very warm night in Melbourne. Still well above 30 degrees right now. The Blues by 5 points in a thrilling contest that went all the way to the wire. Steph Chiocci will join us in a moment, but Darcy Vesey kicking the winning goal 12.5 minutes into the last quarter, and the Blues managed to pinch it.
Yeah, Darcy Vesey very dangerous in that opening term with the 3 points. So, yes, she was getting the footy in the hand and then absolutely went missing in the second and third quarters. Get the ball back in her hands, and that's what she does. She gets the points on the board, and as a result, Carlton win. Such
a disappointing result in the end for Collingwood, who played so well. They were thoroughly outplayed. They were belted in the first quarter, turned it around in the second, held their nerve in the third, and then it went goal for goal in the last, and time beat them. Yeah, it is disappointing for Collingwood, and Wayne Seekman will be obviously upset that he didn't get his first win on the road, but unfortunately they didn't play 4 quarters, so that's going to be the result. You're not going to win games if you can only play 2 solid quarters. Good point. Let's take you down into the Collingwood rooms now. Here is their captain, Steph Chiocci, with Nat Edwards.
Steph, thanks so much for joining us. Another heartbreaking loss. What did you say to the playing group after that?
Yeah, look, obviously we're really disappointed to lose that game. I felt we set it up from the second quarter onwards. The first quarter probably bit us in the bottom a little bit, but I just brought the girls in and said, we had 3 girls kick their first goal in AFL footy, and it's about those little wins at the moment. We know we're building something pretty special here, and we just got to stick fat and look to next week.
Looked like you were really trying to use the short game tonight, kicking shorter and handballing. Was that a real focus for you tonight? Yeah, we should have been doing that from round 1. It's just taken a while to click, but yeah, we're big focus on composure and actually shifting the football, and you can see we can play some really good footy when we do that. So we've got a big game coming up against the Kangaroos next week at Marvel, which we're really looking forward to, and hopefully we can bring that. You're getting closer, you are. Do you really believe that you guys can get a win this season? Absolutely. That's why we play footy, and the belief is there. I think it's just stringing 4 quarters of footy together. You don't play well in 1 quarter, and that comes back to haunt you like tonight. Steph, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's always tough after a loss, but best of luck for the rest of the season. Thank you very much.
Thanks to Steph and Nat Edwards as we check the final scores here at Icon Park. Carlton 4-10-34, defeating Collingwood 4-5-29. Maddie Prespakis leading the game with 21 possessions. A host of players kicked 1 goal. Jamie Lambert with 18 possessions for Collingwood. The real big positive for them, I think, Guttridge on debut. Allen was fantastic. Sarah Rowe. There were some real positive signs for the Pies. Yeah, and you heard that from Steph Chiocci. They had 3 girls kick their first goal in AFLW, so definitely looking at the positives. One girl that's not mentioned there is Karen Harrington. I thought she was fantastic for Carlton tonight. 15 disposals, 7 marks, and they were gutsy marks. They were going back with the flight of the footy. Earlier today, Geelong took the lead in Conference B with a boil-over at Moreton Bay. The Cats 5-5-35, defeating Brisbane 1-8. Geelong last week outplayed by Carlton but found the win. Brisbane looked sensational against the Bulldogs. Cats lost O'Connor and Matty Boyd and created that result. That is a massive win.
That is huge, heading them straight to the top of Conference B ladder. Carlton, with their win tonight, come in at second. But as you mentioned, that win for the Cats without Astor O'Connor and without Matty Boyd is absolutely huge.
So there's Conference B, the two games tonight, both affecting Conference B. So Geelong now, Carlton, Brisbane on the outside, looking in. How quickly things change.
It's going to be a tight last two rounds, that's for sure, Jace.
In both conferences, actually. I mean, we take a look at tomorrow's games and what we've got coming up next week. We'll start with tomorrow. The Giants and Melbourne. The D suddenly in a desperate scrap to try and keep their season alive. And what about this game at Avalon Airport Oval in Werribee? The Kangaroos and Adelaide, for mine, could be the two best teams in the competition.
Yeah, well, top of the table clash in that Conference A. And Adelaide, we had Chelsea on tonight. She's pumped tomorrow. They've travelled over here to Melbourne, but a massive game, no doubt, against the unbeaten North Melbourne Kangaroos. And to round us off for round 5, Freo taking on the Western Bulldogs over at Fremantle Oval, live on 7 from 3 p.m.
The Dogs fighting for survival as we check out our Channel 7 doubleheader next week. It's a marvellous doubleheader at Marvel Stadium, Abs. It's been a long night. I apologise for that. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I wish I hadn't have said it, but I did. Collingwood and the Kangaroos from 4 o'clock. The Bulldogs and Melbourne from 7 o'clock. Promises to be a very interesting game. On paper, you'd say, well, the Kangaroos should take care of Collingwood comfortably. But from what we saw tonight, their ball movement was so improved. Their younger players really started to show something. The Pies are suddenly becoming a difficult team to play against.
They are. And as you said, anything can happen in AFLW, especially with this conference system. So Collingwood will take the loss tonight. They'll review it. They'll move on. And they'll look towards the Kangaroos next weekend. But never say never.
Well, Conference B has taken a few twists and turns today, with Geelong taking a big win over Brisbane. Carlton getting out of jail against Collingwood, and those are the two teams in the final spots. On behalf of Chelsea Randall, Abby Holmes, Nat Edwards and the entire production team here at Icon Park, I'm Jason Bennett. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next Saturday afternoon for more 7 AFLW.